Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? Well, downtown Clorica. That's where we technically are. And we're about to enter downtown Paphos in about 30 seconds or so. And, well, Lady Oh So Sweet Caroline, there's been a bit of pothole filling gone on along this road. So, to be honest, you don't actually need that memory foam cushion just yet. If you remember along here, there was an awful lot of bouncy going on, and well, there's a bit of bouncy there, look at that, and then there's a bit more bouncy coming up here. But no, the Gumbaru number one, that's the mare. He's been out and had a bootload of tarmacadam, a wreck, I'm tired, no wreck. Forgive me while I die. There we go, right, just died and come back on. As you understand, we're totally live, and there we go, see? All of those potholes along there, Dizzy Blonde, have been filled in. The English is just gone today, that's for sure. Busy day today, if you understand me. We're coming towards the end of the week, so there's a lot of running around and a lot of, well, debt collection services going on and that kind of thing. Now and again, the mallet does have to come out of the car because one or two people just don't want to pay. There we go. That's the little joke. Hopefully that's going to tickle Lord Simon and Lord Jeremy, because I've got a job for you boys. I've got a new job for you. You're going to ride pillion passengers, shall we say, in the new F-Class, and I'm going to wiggle and waggle around the streets of Paphos and sometimes further afield when we go on our debt collection exercise. And now and again, I'm going to ask for your assistance, and yous are going to jump out with the shotguns and, well, kneecap them. There we go. Right, that's the little joke over. Where are we? Downtown Paphos. This is the little supermarket coming up on the left, which means that is the Venus Beach Hotel on the right-hand side. And, of course, that is a beachside hotel, luxury 5-star, and a great hotel indeed. So, welcome to Mr. Paul's Breakfast Club. And as you can see, the sky is rather blue. And I promise you that the sea is blue. I'm dressed head to toe in blue. So all that's actually missing, of course, is you. So get yourself on that big bird or a canoe, and please start paddling like crazy, because Marika, myself and Cyprus are quite simply waiting for you. Why are we not going? The lights are on green. What's going on in this country? When the lights are on red, nobody wants to stop, and then when they're on the green, everyone wants to stop and check their Facebook page and have a quick look to see what's going on Marika and me. Finally, we're moving again. There you go. There's one of those little mini things in front. Great little car, but of course, if you own one of those in Paphos, normally you get eaten within a week because the potholes are rather big, shall we say. Now, let's go and just check in the kitchen, because we understand that there are 3 absolute superstars who are working their socks off. And these are the girls that, well, you know, they don't get the praise that they deserve because people just take them for granted. So I want to say a very big good morning to the girls. They are my superstars, and they work very hard, and they're very glamorous ladies. So let's start it off with a very big good morning to Miss Vivian. She's a superstar amongst superstars. She's the one that's doing all your nice cakes. And then you've got the superstar, Miss Nessie. She's in charge of coordinating the cakes and the coffees and the teas. And if you want something a bit stiffer, whoops, that was a bad word, a bit stronger, she will organise that. And then the girl in charge of the logistics with the serving team, which is yet to be recruited, of course, is the one and only Miss Bev, all the way from Frodsham, and she just happens to be the beautiful partner of Ian Crawford, the butcher. There we go. Now, talking about Miss Ness, well, Ness has got a man in her life, of course, and his name is Mr. Andy, and they like to go out in their spare time when she's not in the Marika and me kitchen making YouTube videos. So have a look in the search bar, Ness and Andy's Travels UK, and of course you'll find them racing around in the Shropshire lanes, and they crossed over to Staffordshire because they went looking for Mike and Barry number 1, Mr. Andy in his blue BMW, and they were looking out for Justine and Ollie the dog, but unfortunately on the last occasion they didn't manage to track them down, but of course there's plenty of time. And then of course you've got Viv. Vivian is a superstar amongst superstars. She's a bit of a BMW girl, by the way, which is not a bad thing, but of course if you were racing around the roads of Paphos, well, you'd have no teeth. That's the way it works because the roads are that bad. But anyway, she is an absolute star, and she's the girl that makes all of the handmade delicious cakes. Her New York cheesecake, well, it's to die for. Her cupcakes, they are to die for. We've got a man just sitting over there who is frantically flicking on his treadmill, and he says that the cupcakes are mouth-watering. He salivates at just the thought of one. So come on, Mr. Allen, flick it on, and let's get those calories going. Let's get physical. And at the end of it, I'm pretty sure that Miss Viv will deliver you one of her spectacular orange and lemon cheesecakes. That's for sure. Now, standing next to him, getting ready to mount the bike, that's Sally Bryce. She's going to pedal the life out of the place, and after that she's going to get a special cake or a special treat as well. Mr. Matt Dyes is sitting on the sofa over there thinking, well, where's my cup of tea? What's going on? Well, you put a ring on her finger and I'm pretty sure that she'll treat you that little bit better. Got to watch them on this roundabout, as you can see. There you go. That's 2 cars that cut across us. So I warn you now, if you're driving in Cyprus, whether you've owned a car, stolen a car, borrowed a car or rent a car, be very, very careful indeed. Do not expect the locals to understand the bylaws, and do not expect the locals to stay on their side of the road, and do not expect anybody in a car on this island to stop at a red traffic light, even if they've got blue lights on the top, because, well, the sun does something to our brains, if you understand me. All we're doing is thinking about frapping and beach lounging and going out for some souvlaki and that kind of thing. So we've got more important things on our mind rather than road safety. So please drive extra, extra carefully. My God, these traffic lights are on red again. What's going on? The world it's just messed up. We're going to sit here now for days, I can tell. So, I tell you what, we'll go and have a quick look on the sofas and see who is in the breakfast club today, because you know, people come and they go, but there's always one girl in the shop, isn't there? She's always on her sofa, and of course that is the one and only Dame Anne, the superstar amongst superstars. And talking about superstars, she has a little partner in crime who likes to sit next to her, and they have a bit of a chin wag and a bit of Polish and a bit of English and a bit of this and a bit of Swahili, and she is Anna Starr, our superstar lawyer from all the way over in Poland, greatest lawyer in the world, and she is the Marika and me lawyer. So she's the girl that goes around and checks all of the legalities when we're talking about these tongue twisters that the man on the left hand side, Viking Ronnie, is coming up with. Good morning to you, Viking Ronnie. Enjoy your filter coffee and your malted toast. And of course, on the other arm, on the right hand side, the man in charge of all of the law and order, all of the crime and that kind of thing, it's Ronnie Miller. Welcome, Ronnie Miller. Good morning to you, and enjoy your cup of tea and your rich tea biscuit. There we go. And of course, Dame Anne, well, she's having a nice drink of Earl tea out of a bone china cup, and she's this morning had a special gluten-free donut with a bit of icing on the top of it. So bon appetit, Dame Anne. Enjoy your day. You're going to have a great time, that's for sure. There's some other superstars in time. We've got Moira and Kevin Taylor. They're sitting over there having a bit of a chat. And of course, we've got Kath and Stephen all the way up in Inverness. They're sitting there having a chuckle. It goes on and on, by the way. You know, you've got Mr. Nigel, Miss Debbie, and of course the Princess Maya, she's sitting there. We've got my cousin King James, and of course his Queen Karine, and of course the one and only Princess Darling. She's sitting there wondering, what cupcake am I going to get today? Well, I promise you, Princess Darling, when you come to Paphos, I'm going to take you to the cake shop or the donut shop, whichever one you fancy, and I'm going to treat you to the greatest donuts or the greatest cake that has ever been made. And I promise you that Miss Vivian will have had her fingers all over it, and I mean that in a nice way, making it, if you understand me. So, where are we? We're on the ring road, as we call it. So this is the inner ring road. We've come past the Paphos Mount, and we're now heading towards the next focal point, which will be another little roundabout. And if you were to go right at that roundabout, you would go straight down to Paradise and straight into the front entrance of the Olympic Lagoon Resort. Now that's a strange occurrence. A set of traffic lights on green. So let's just keep on going, shall we? Now, talking about other superstars, by the way, there are 2 other superstars. They partied in Paphos with us only, well, time goes, doesn't it? So it's a couple of weeks ago now, and they are the one and only Miss Andrea and the one and only Mr. Mart. Although sometimes I get confused with him, because sometimes he's got a blonde wig on his head, and he's trying to do an impersonation of Miss Ochingwa Booth, which of course is Miss Marika. So sometimes I call him a miss, but there we go. Anyway, they got a YouTube channel. Go and have a search in the YouTube search bar, Andrea and Mart, and you're going to find them whizzing and waggling and doing all sorts of things in the lanes around Norfolk, and now and again they pop into Norwich. And Mart has got a tremendous knowledge. He really has. He's like an encyclopedia of Norwich City, that is for sure. So go and have a look and give him some positive inputs and some nice comments, and that channel's going to grow, I promise you that. And of course now and again you've got Miss Andrea, who pops in with some absolute twaddle, rubbish, absolute rubbish, a bit like myself. There we go. That's why her and I get on so well. Stars amongst stars, as we've come to understand that all of our family members are. At the moment there's a lot of things going on. We are having a website built and designed, and the man in charge of that, well, he's a friend of mine for life, that's for sure. They came to Paphos, it's over a month ago now. That's where time goes, isn't it? Of course, his name is Sir Richard Davis, beautiful wife Julie Nash. If you go into in the comments for them, if you want to communicate with them. And of course they've got a son, and he's my mate, he's my friend for life, and his name is Mr. Leo. And these people are superstars amongst superstars. They are the sponsors, and they're in charge of our website. So hopefully we can go to new heights, and we are coming up with ideas to upload photos to that website. They don't have to be photos of you when you're in Paphos. They don't have to be photos of you dancing with us. They can just be your photos, shall we say. And other people can have a look at them, and perhaps we're going to hopefully create a forum. And we're looking for moderators of that. It's Justine and Mr. Andy from Staffordshire. They have said they'd like to be moderators. Most people understand there's no pay for that. It's something you do out of the kindness of your heart. And what's your job? Well, your job basically is to check that you know, the pictures are suitable, shall we say, and that the language used on the forum again is suitable, shall we say. I think you understand what I'm talking about. We're a bit of a family orientated channel, and we don't want to be going in the wrong direction. Although Miss Watching, Receiving and Rabouf and myself do sometimes, should we say, go to the line. But we're only picking on towns and villages that actually have those names, and we're playing with Marika's English. I think you all understand that. So if you wish to unsubscribe, please do. There we go. Uh-oh, that's it. All of the family members have left the channel, and now the only person left subscribed is myself. But that's life. Right, where are we? This is the, it's still the inner ring road, if you understand. This is the purpose-built road that allows you to come from the airport to the hotels, or of course in this case to go from the kind of Paphos area hotels back towards the airport. And I warn you now, and I really warn you now, please do not speed on this road, because the boys in blue are always on this road and they are waiting for you. And it is very easy to speed on this road, because of course they aren't stupid. They have made the speed limits very low to entice you. But I promise you, more often than not, where we just passed, they're there. And more often than not, if they're not there, they'll be just down here on the left side. So you never know, they might be here. You might get to see them live, dancing around, cigarette in one hand, frappe in the other. Now this time of year, because they think it's a bit cold, they've still got the woolly flip-flops on, and puffer jackets and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to say thanks for watching, and of course, if you like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe, and want to come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter insanity. And if you'd like to help the channel grow, if you do really like what you've seen and you want to see more of these types of videos, please consider going through to our About page, where you could consider to buy a coffee or two. That will be converted into cash, sometimes for coffee and sometimes for benzene, which of course is petrol in the tank, which allows us to make some more of these videos. So that's over and out from me. Thanks very much, and of course we'll see you in the next one.